What's up, metalheads? It's your main man, Eddie Monster here, back with another special edition of Rock and Metal News, bite-sized edition. That's right, I could not wait for Pedal TV news, so I needed to bring you this news now because it's important. That's right, especially if you're a concert goer. But before I get into it, I just want to remind all of you to please subscribe to the channel. That's right, hit that subscribe button. I try to come up with as much content as humanly possible for all of you to enjoy. Hopefully you are. All right. So, back in 2024, there was an investigation that was thrown on by the Department of Justice. That's right. They were investigating a huge corporate conglomerate in the concert industry who is literally trying to monopolize the whole entire thing. That's right. I'm talking about Livenation, who uses Ticketmaster as their exclusive ticket company. Okay, so they were trying to figure out if they were doing this. They took them to court, right? They had found that Live Nation was forcing small venues and venues to rule out competitors, putting pressure on them, probably threatening to take away artists from them if they only agreed to use Ticketmaster. Well, the DOJ earlier in the year pretty much reached an agreement with the companies that included up to $280 million in damages. They put limits on the service fees and then, had requirements to loosen up those strangleholds. But much like anybody else, why reach an agreement? Why not take this further than you have to? I mean, you don't have to like Kid Rock or be Kid Rock to figure out that a jury is probably going to think otherwise, right? Because most likely most people on the jury have gone to a concert. It's not all that impossible to think, right? So anyways, 30 states decide, once the DOJ was like, oh, we're out of this because we reached an agreement, 30 states came in and said, no. No, that's not how it's going to work, right? We're going to take this, we're going to take it to a jury, and we're going to find them exactly what happened today as this decision was made at the recording of this podcast episode. They were found guilty. That's right, guilty as charged for Live Nation. Hopefully I'm saying this right, but California Attorney General Rob Bonta had this to say in a statement today. In the face of dwindling antitrust enforcement by the Trump administration, this verdict shows just how far states can go to protect our residences from big corporations that are using their power to illegally raise prices and rip off Americans. We are incredibly proud of today's outcome and especially proud of our coalition made up of red and blue states alike who understood we needed to come together to protect our consumers, businesses, and state economies from Live Nation's illegal conduct. That's right. So some of the states that were involved in this were Cali, New York, and Mass. Obviously, those were the big ones. But this is a huge, huge decision that was made and reached. Unfortunately, if you're thinking this is going to go into effect right away, probably not. It's probably going to be a little while before you see any cause and effect of what happened today and that decision that was made today. Because obviously, Live Nation is going to file as many appeals as they possibly can. It's probably going to go all the way to the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court will ultimately have to make the decision, and hopefully they uphold the decision that was made today, because we're a country that was built on making sure that companies did not monopolize. That's as political as I'm going to get on this show, by the way. But anyways, so there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed that. As always, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click that subscribe button. I try to come up with as much content as humanly possible. And I want to thank you guys all again for tuning into this. I will see you next time. Stay metal.